Hey, my name is Chad. This video, we are going to see if we can diagnose what our issue was at the last match. I've done a little bit of research over the last week and, ooh, wow. So a wasp just landed on my camera. That's not cool. Yeah, so, yeah. Definitely one of the downsides of my area here is that when we get some warmer temperatures and some water, like we had rain from this storm this last week, we had a tornado very close to here on Thursday night. That's when all the bugs come out. So we've got wasps, ants, a bunch of flies, mosquitoes, everything's coming out of the woodwork now. And yeah, that guy just got right down on the controller area of the camera. So that's gonna give me a little pause. But anyways, so over the last week I did some research and tested a few things. I think I know what the issue was, but we're gonna start with basics. So I've got a couple rounds loaded up for my rifle. I'm just gonna shoot a small group and see if is my zero still where it's supposed to be. It has something come loose and something has shifted. So we're going to check that first. If that looks good, then we're going to go back and do a little testing, and I'll see if I can show you what I think the issue was. So we'll get into that right now. Okay, so we're just going to knock this out real quick. Got my target down there about 100 yards. I mean, everything still feels tight, so I don't think this is the issue, but never hurts to double check. It is obviously quite a bit warmer, like we hit 99 here today. So you know, it could be something that the higher temperatures, things are speeding up a bit. So I've got my chrono attached. We're going to get speeds, check the look of this group, and see where we're at from there. Then move on to the next thing. Okay, so those last two seemed a little bit quicker, like 30-37 and 30-42. Typically 30-10s, 30-15s, but you know, we'll take a look here. 30-10, then I went up to 30-14, 21, 36, and 37. So it is, you know, a little bit quicker, but I think I had my speed set about 3006. So average is giving me a 30-24. Speeding up a little bit, but I don't think 20 feet per second is going to be the cause of the problem. So let me go grab the paper and we'll look at the group. Okay, so went down, grabbed the target, and there's a bunch of bugs and stuff down there, so I didn't want to fiddle with the camera. So I just grabbed it off the pole there. So, I mean, that's 5 shots, and, you know, we could maybe say that I've shifted up a little bit. So that could possibly be a little bit of it if I had a slight shift up. I think my left and right is still good, but you know, if my rounds are speeding up, then I would be landing a little bit higher. So I can adjust that in the Kestrel. But currently, I'm not going to make any changes. We're just going to leave it as it is. But let's go back and see if we can get a better look at what I think the more likely culprit is. Because that is, I mean, plenty good for what I'm doing. So that should get me hits on target well out to several hundred yards. So I do not think this is the issue. So let's go take a look at what I think was. Okay, so we're back here where I've got my little platform set up, and wanted to go over a few other ideas that I think are causing me problems. And what I honestly think the issue is here in my binos. So something that I noticed last Monday when I was out here filming like my match review, and I made that example video, and I got my first 2 shots, and then I missed my second 2. When I went back and looked at my Kestrel, that is when I noticed that the direction of fire, which I'm shooting almost straight north, there's a couple targets that are a little bit angled to the left. So that would be maybe an 11 to 11:30 to a 12 o'clock position. My display was showing that I was anywhere from 10:30. So what I'm thinking has happened is my binos are not calibrated properly, or something is throwing them off. I came out here yesterday, tested the idea, and what I could notice is when I would face north right here. So I can take my binoculars, face the same direction, and I'll hit the wind bearing button, which will show me the angular direction, and it's giving me 345 degrees. So it should be about 360. So that's off of what it is showing. So then obviously if that's north, then you know, east is going to be here, which should be 90 degrees. And I've got 63 degrees facing east. So then facing south, which should be 180, I actually get 185. So that's within the margin of error. This should have a 10-degree margin of error. And then facing here to the east, or to the west, been a long day. Should be 270, and I got 266, so not bad. But then I go back north, and I'm at 342. So something is off 30 or so degrees in a couple of directions. So what I'm thinking is happening is when I would range my targets, it sends the range and the direction of fire to the Kestrel. So I'm thinking what was happening is when I would range the targets and it would send that data, my Kestrel would be told that the target is here and it's really here. So my wind call was getting over exaggerated, and I think that is what was putting me off the side and making me miss a couple. So we're going to see what happens here. I've got a bit of an idea to get a wind reading here. So from what I can tell, my compass is still in good shape here. So that's telling me 4 o'clock. That's right about where it should be for my wind right now. So we're getting like a 7 to 8 mile an hour wind. And it's saying it's coming from 4 o'clock. When I line that up with what my watch is showing, that should be right about a 4 o'clock position. So let's see what happens when I actually range a target. So go, that popper is about 517, and that transferred that information. It's giving it an 11 o'clock. I'd really call it about an 11:30. But, so it's telling me it wants 2.2. And if I go in and tell the direction of fire is actually 11:30, my elevation is going to be the same. If I use the 11 o'clock that it's showing from the binos, I'm going to be at a 0.5 to 0.6. If I set it to an 11:30, we're going to be low 0.5s to right at 0.59. So maybe that's not going to be far enough to make a difference, but we'll test it the real way, and let's just see what happens here. We'll try 0.5 first and see if we can have any luck. All right. So that hit. So that lines up. We should be in good shape. Let's try the far one. That's going to be where the issues are going to start becoming more apparent. So that target is right at 750 yards. And okay, so that now this where, so that is definitely at a straight 12 o'clock position, and this is telling me it's at 11 o'clock now. So with the bino information, I'm getting a 4.3 up and then a 0.8 to 0.9. If I change direction of fire to 12 o'clock, I'm still at 0.43 or 4.3, and really still 0.8, 0.9. So this is actually showing not as much variation as I was hoping. We are about half the wind, so that maybe once I get higher winds. We'll test that here in a second, but let's just see if this works. Ding, we got him. Okay, so that's what I was thinking the problem was, but I don't know, maybe it's not. I think I have reached a point that I am at an analyzation paralyzation kind of situation. So I'm trying to put too much pressure on myself and do the absolute best that I can. And in my mind, I've got the tools that should be able to get precise information, and I'm trying to get everything exactly perfect. So I think what has happened is I am overstressing how much importance I'm putting on the wind and the exact direction that it's at. If you got any good like wind drills or something that I can practice on in the wind, that is definitely the thing that I think I need to get a better mastery of next. Or if you know good videos, please drop them down below. Use that comments. Let me know, what do you think? I really want to get better at this last kind of hurdle, so to speak. I know my rifle can shoot good. I'm pretty confident in my ammo doing good. Um, Now I just need to get more confident with this Oklahoma wind. So it's always going to be here. If it's not breezy, then it's miserably hot. So we want a little bit of wind, but I just got to get better at shooting through it. This is obviously off of calibration, and I recalibrated them yesterday and it's still showing off. After I calibrated it, it was still off on north and east. South was okay, west was okay. And then for some reason, when I got inside my truck, north was right on. Every direction was spot on. But now that I'm outside again, I'm back to, north is 30 to 40 degrees off. East is about 40 degrees off. So something is definitely not right there. But what I assumed is sending the wrong data here. I don't think that was enough to cause me to have all the misses that I did. More than likely, it was my wind being input incorrectly, or I was just unstable. I thought I was, fairly stable, but it's entirely possible that I was not as stable as I thought I was, and I was thinking too much about, my Kestrel and stuff like that, and not focusing on getting a good solid squeeze on the trigger. That could have been it. So I don't know. We'll see. The next match is a regular PRS match. I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully my dad is going to try to come so he can check out the last match, and I will have him run some camera for me, and we'll try to get some good footage. So that should be in 2 weeks. Well, as you can see, sun is down. It's getting dark out here. I think we're going to take off for the day. Hey, if you could do me one favor, take a look right below. Make sure you're subscribed. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up on the video. Really helps me get out there more. I want more people to see this. Maybe they've got some other ideas on how I can practice on getting more confident with wind direction and speeds. And I think I had a good comment the other day on last video, and I think I'm going to try and get some time squeezed out and write out a list of ranges out to the ranges we typically shoot at, and see where are changes in the mil adjustments. How does that transfer to inches, and see where am I overstressing, like 2/10 of a mil. If it's only a half an inch at a target, then I probably don't need to stress that much. But if it's at a further target and 2/10 of a mil is, 2/3 the size of the target, then I need to be more concerned about getting accurate data. So I think if I can write out a chart where I can compare all the numbers, that should help me alleviate some of the over processing that I'm mentally doing here. Well, next weekend we'll be getting started on prepping for the match, and I really hope you stick around. Come back for the next one. We're always trying to do some fun stuff out here. After this last match, we'll try to get back into some pistol stuff and see if I can get my 77 grain loaded up and shoot from here at that target I was just shooting at the last one. So 750 yards with a 16-inch AR with a 10 power scope. I don't know. That's my goal. I want to see if I can do it from here. that should be my summer project. Stay on me, keep asking me questions about it in the comments, and I'll get that ammo loaded up and we'll give it a try. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.